Hi everyone, welcome to this morning's live reel. So I'll just wait for the lovely Kiara Gagan to join me. She has joined. Lovely. Hello. Um, so we just allow her.
Hi.
Good morning, Kiara. Welcome. Happy Easter.
How are you, Neve? Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm delighted to be here. How are you?
Good, yeah, good. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your morning because I know that you're a super busy mom with two beautiful children. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming to talk to all us, talk to all of us about the beautiful cacao.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, I'm just delighted. Yeah, I mean the kids, yeah, they're keeping me busy, but they understand my work as well. So I always get the little extra space to do what I need to do, to have a chat or whatever, or work. Working online is kind of huge at the minute now. So they're used to kind of me going off, especially in the evening times, to this thing or that Zoom call or this Zoom call. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, amazing. So, Kira, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you about?
Okay. So obviously my name is Kiara. I'm from Athy County Kildare that you know well, of course. I am a mom of two, and I'm married as well. Currently I'm working in the health shop in Athy, part time, because the kids have been off school a good bit this year, and the last year they've been off a good bit. So it was a really nice opportunity for me to be at home with them a little bit more as well. And obviously, I've been working as a massage therapist and reflexologist for about 8 years. So I obviously lost all of that when COVID happened. But at the same time, it was actually a really nice wake up call for me to kind of realize I didn't really want to do it anymore. And then the cacao happened, appeared, kind of came into my life, and lots of kind of different things started to happen, ideas and meeting new people like yourself. Obviously, I know you, but like in the kind of spiritual like community, yeah, kind of new opportunities started to kind of present themselves, and I had been doing other training the last kind of 2 years anyway. But yeah, basically I'm a nutritional advisor in the health shop at the moment, where I've been working for about 4 years. So
Oh,
that's a little bit about me. Yeah, yeah. And how have you been finding everything,
yeah, well,
the last
it
year?
said that you're an excellent advisor in the health food store in Athy. It's in the local vicinity. If anyone wants to know anything about supplements, diet supplements, veganism, Kira is your woman. Yeah.
Yeah,
So for me, yeah, no, it's a lot of my work that I do at the moment with biofield tuning is online over Zoom. So it's amazing. Yeah, it has the same effect
yeah.
at a distance, which you know yourself, distance.
Oh, amazing.
The energy doesn't understand time and space. So
Yeah,
we are here to talk, obviously, about the mother cacao herself.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
mentioned that it was brought into your life. Is that quite recently then, Kira?
Yeah, well, like I've been drinking it about, maybe 2 years. Um, I got a friend of mine had been drinking it, and she just sent me like a little tiny piece in a bag in the post. And I drank it one morning and I thought, yeah, wow, that's really nice. And I noticed throughout the day that I was like just really happy. I just like, what? I just felt so calm, and the kids were home and we were doing lots of arts and crafts and things. And I just felt really present or something. And I said, that's really weird. Like, because she had told me a little bit about it, like, oh, it's like a heart medicine and, all this different stuff. And I said, okay. And then I noticed that evening, then again, like it was nearly calling my name. Like I was walking through the kitchen and I could smell it out of the press. And I was like, there's something about this now that is like, and I've always been a chocolate addict, like throughout my life. It's just a simple fact. And I kind of thought, God, maybe is this just like another way for me to have just like a nice hot chocolate or something that I hadn't been having, or, whatever. And then I kind of, did a little bit more research. And I was like, wow, this is really amazing. And then a friend of mine, well, I mean, a virtual friend, I hadn't met her physically or whatever, but I knew her through other people kind of, and she started selling cacao. And I said, well, I'm going to support her instantly. And then she kind of made some kind of life decisions, and she had a large amount of cacao to get rid of basically because she was moving away and she couldn't bring it with her. So I bought it off her. And I just on a whim, she asked me, and I was just like, yes, yes, I will buy it, all of it. And that went really well. And then where she went to Guatemala, where the cacao comes from, and she met this guy, Shadi, and he was running his first cacao training. And she put me in contact with him, and was just chatting to him through email, and instantly, yeah, I want to do this training. And where I'm just finished it last Sunday, and just level 1 we just finished, and yeah, I'm hooked. I absolutely love it. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
wow.
know you're a big fan of it yourself. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's so interesting when you said that you could actually smell the cacao, because often these spirits of, plants, medicine, and even from the
yeah,
realms, the first way that they will communicate with you is through the smell. As far as I'm aware, it's
yeah,
like one of the easiest, as opposed to,
yeah,
feeling the sight or other sensations. So it was a
exactly. Yeah.
direct, like, you need to work with me. That's
Oh yeah, and the girl, it was funny because the girl I got it off, like I said, we hadn't met before, but she's kind of like a dream worker. She would spend a lot of time working on like lucid dreaming and different things. And she had gone into some deep meditation with the cacao, and she said my name just kind of popped up when she was looking for somebody to connect with the cacao. So she kind of messaged me. She was like, "Oh, I'm not really sure. Like, how would you feel about this?" And I was instantly, I knew, yeah, I need to work with this medicine. And I've always loved the idea of plant medicines, and I've always liked the gentler ones too, and like herbal medicines and things like that as well. So it just kind of made sense. I couldn't say no. I couldn't. I just, every fiber of me was like, yes, I
that's
want
your
this. Like,
soul, girl. Your soul was speaking and you listened. So
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So how are you using it at the moment then? Or tell us a bit about it. Like, what does it do?
Yeah, so basically, obviously it, like a lot of people would think like, oh, it's just hot chocolate or whatever, but basically it's made in a way with like an intention, like it's grown with an intention in the area. So at the minute, the one I have is from Guatemala, from Central America, and it's grown with intention, it's grown with love. They're grown in like a pod, it's like a big massive bean, and then on the inside of it is the big kind of lumps of cacao. And there's like an extensive kind of complex process to making it into the block of cacao, but at the way I'm using it personally at the minute is kind of, at first when I got it, I was drinking it every day, because I was really kind of trying to connect with the medicine and everything. But through like the training that we were doing, I now kind of only drink it for meditation purposes, or sometimes to just have a nice drink in the evening time as well, to just kind of calm down. But basically, yeah, for ceremonial purposes and meditation purposes is the way I would be using it now, because it's like anything. It's like, coffee or anything that if you're drinking it all the time, the effect lessens, especially if you're having a ceremonial dose. Like, so sometimes if I'm having it like just in the day, I won't have a ceremonial dose, so to kind of explain what that means, I suppose, a ceremonial dose is a certain amount of grams you take to get the desired effect of the medicine. Whereas, like, if you didn't want that, you just have like maybe half of that or whatever to just have a nice warming drink. So,
Yeah,
and how would you be drinking it usually? Like, do you drink it all the time, or?
yeah, yeah. I find it allows me to be very creative, especially
Yeah,
in my meditation. It's very
yeah,
soothing, calming, heart opening. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a beautiful medicine. It really, really is. And I
yeah,
found that, yeah, like the more you work with it, the more you connect with it.
yeah,
And it's not just like, if there's a couple of people listening here and they're like, oh, I'm just going to drink this hot chocolate and then I'm going to feel all these benefits. It's not really like that. You have to
No.
really know where it comes from. You have to set very strong intentions with your own energy and with the energy of the medicine. Like, this is actually a medicine. It has
Yeah.
the ability to alter your state of consciousness. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you have to use it with pure intentions, and with a sacredness. Like, it's
Absolutely. There's an integrity to it, like,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
surrender to what's coming through, whether it's an emotional release, whether it's a new project that's coming to the screen of your mind, or it's just a
Yeah.
decision. And it's really checking in with yourself and being like, how is this affecting me? What is
Hmm.
what is the science behind this? What is the spiritual aspect behind this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kiara, can you tell us a bit about the nutritional benefits that actually, do you want to show us
Yeah.
what we're talking about here?
Oh yes, yes. I have a block here. So that's it in the block. You can smell it through it as well. Like, it just looks like a big hard block of, yourself, of just chocolate basically, but you can see it's darker, but the nutritional benefits, so it works on a physical level and then it works like similarly on a spiritual level. So on a physical level, like, it's very high in antioxidants and it's high in theobromine. And that's kind of where the sacredness comes from. Okay, so like thousands of years it was drank by the Mayans, okay, in ceremony. Initially they actually didn't drink it at all, and they offered it as a offering to the fire. They worshipped the sacred sun, the central sun, which is the beginning and the creation of everything. That's what they worshipped. So they gave the cacao to the fire rather than actually drinking it. Our way of drinking it, or our way of, I suppose, integrating the medicine is different, but it's as valid as, giving it to the fire. But yeah, like, it's high in antioxidants. Theobromine is an antioxidant. It's very high in vitamins and minerals, and it's a vasodilator, so it opens the blood vessels and gets more oxygen into the blood. So that's where the kind of, although it can be quite energetic, like, it would have been given to warriors and things, used for endurance. So it's very good for, mental focus. So that's where you're saying with the creativity side, like, physically it's very good for your mental focus. And I suppose heart opening, it's physically heart opening as it's opening the blood vessels to the heart. And in a way it's funny because although that gives you like this kind of energy, it's extremely calming because of the high fat content. So there's the difference between your ceremonial cacao and your regular chocolate, because in the ceremonial cacao, even with the extensive process of like harvesting, fermenting it, peeling it, it's sun roasted, and then it's, made into the block, the fats aren't removed from it. So when you're making the cacao, you can see, that glitzing on top of it, that you can see that the essential fats are still there. So obviously that's good for lots of things as well. And that's the difference with regular chocolate. The fats are actually removed, and then there's a lot of other crap added instead. And you can taste that in the difference. You can taste it when you make a cup of cacao and compare it to a cup of hot chocolate. And that's why when people say like, oh, it's just a hot chocolate, don't overthink it, it's like, but it totally isn't. It isn't, because it's made completely differently. And that's why people, when they're getting a hot chocolate, they want to add like a fatty milk to it, even if it's a plant milk or whatever. And even if you're not vegan, I would recommend having it with a plant milk anyway. Like oat milk or something kind of creamy like that. But like, that's why people would add a fatty kind of milk to the hot chocolate, because the fats have been removed from the cocoa powder or your hot chocolate drinking powder, whereas the fats are still present in the block of cacao. So you don't need to do that.
Okay, brilliant. And how do you prepare your cup of cacao?
So, when we were doing it in the course, traditionally, the traditional way of making it would be, if you're, a ceremonial dose is about anything from kind of 30 grams to 42 grams, which is quite a lot. So you would boil the kettle, make your 42 grams. If you don't have a little measure at home, guys, if anyone's listening that has got cacao at home and you're just kind of been drinking it, like, not really knowing, it's about 5 tablespoons of cacao. Put it in the cup, let the water boil, and then leave it just for a few seconds, pour it in, and just pour half the cup in, and then you get in your whisk or whatever, and you kind of just hold the whisk in between your hands. Actually, I might do a video after today, Neve, and we can share it, just to do a video on how, I make it. So basically with the cacao, when you're making it, you're bringing in all of the 4 elements, okay? So you've got the earth, which is the cacao. You've got the water, which is the boiling water. You're bringing in the air with the whisk. So you're, holding it in between your hands, and that's kind of frothing it up. And then the fire, you can add like just a little pinch of cayenne pepper. And that's generally the traditional way of drinking the cacao. So depending on the consistency that you want, some people will eat it. So they'll make it into they'll use little water. So it's like a paste, and then they'll drink it that way. That's a very potent way, of course, of having it. And even myself, I don't think I could have it like that because it's very strong. And then sometimes myself, I'll just make it with oat milk. I'll put it on the pan, and that is adding kind of more fats that aren't really necessary, but I just like the flavour of it that way. You can add your sweetener like maple syrup. If you have honey, you can add in some honey or maybe some coconut sugar. And then your 5 tablespoons of cacao. If somebody is on antidepressants or you're pregnant, I would always recommend going with half that dose for sure. Like if you're on a lot of medication and stuff, 15 grams is plenty. Children, 12 to 15 grams, plenty as well. So yeah, that's basically how, it would be drank, yeah.
Cool, thank you so much. I actually never thought about the 4 elements.
Yes.
So that's something I never thought of. Now, to
Yeah.
be fair, I don't use a whisk, I use a NutriBullet. So I fling it up.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, no, you're still getting the frothy. Yeah.
But I still get the air element in.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I found it really interesting to learn like initially how it was used. Like, like that it wasn't drank. It was used as a currency for a while as well. It would be like, when we go to a wedding now and they serve champagne or they serve nice wines and things, it was actually served like a champagne. Like you would drink cacao at your wedding and it would be like super fancy. I loved that. It would have been used by the Mayan priests as well for astral travel. Or if there was some kind of rift in the community, they would use it to kind of, the priests would drink it and, sit in the sacred space to kind of figure out how they're going to, bring peace back to the community, or, because it's a very community-based drink. Cacao is a brilliant emotional facilitator, and it's a really good, ceremonial facilitator. It holds space really, really well. So naturally, that's why cacao ceremonies are so popular, because the cacao is a great pillar for the group on its own, and then with the facilitator obviously helping that as well, so.
Yeah, I remember reading somewhere that it's called food of the gods because
that's
Europe.
Yes,
yeah, it was
and that's
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, I was just going to say that's literally what theobromine means.
Food of the
I think that's where the kind of I suppose its sacred status would have come from, because the theobromine is called food of the gods, and it was given a sacred status then. Yeah,
it just shows the potency of it. And in Europe, it was only served to kings and queens because obviously it came from South America, so it was just so sacred that only the kings and the queens got it. But yet we can have it in front of us at the flick of the switch. So every time I receive this medicine, I have so much gratitude for everybody who has assisted me to be able to receive the medicine. So tell me, Kiara, how can we get our hands on this potency?
Well, literally, I get it from Guatemala, Lake Atitlan, and there's a lovely community of women there that grow the particular type that I have. It's called Mama Amor, and I have loads of it. So if anyone is looking for some, just drop me a message. I have quite a large amount of it at the moment. And it's just like you were saying, the fact that it was given to kings and queens, it would have been buried with them as well. And when like the kings are people high in the community with high status, it was buried with them to help on their journey back to the other world. Like a gift or whatever to bring with them. And it just like that, it's just that's why it's so important when you are drinking it to be aware of what it is that you're drinking, like you said. And because I've done it like a couple of times where I've just kind of made it and I've been distracted, or um, one particular time I was in the middle of, being at my cacao training, and we always had to drink it at the beginning of the cacao of the training day. It takes about 25 or 30 minutes to start taking effect. So that's where you have that integration time to either sit with the cacao. But the cacao is a really fun and playful energy. It's the grandmother, it's full of wisdom, it's full of rebirth and life. So it loves a bit of diversity because it's grown in a really diverse environment. So it loves a bit of fun and a bit of crack. So that's where the sound healing comes in, or maybe a bit of dancing, a bit of ecstatic dance. And that just makes me just like, yes, I love that. And there was a day we were, about to drink the cacao. I had it in my flask, and I don't know why, the flask just would not open. I could not open the flask. I turned off my camera on Zoom, and I was like, oh my God, trying to get this flask open. So as we were doing our, opening prayer with the cacao, I just pretended I had a glass of water and I had a cup of water, and I was like, yes, I'm drinking the cacao, but I wasn't. And then at the end of the session, the end of the day, as I was tidying up my space and everything, I lifted it up and the flash just popped open.
Stop.
And I was like, I have been trying to open this for 3 hours. And I drank it real quick then because I was so excited. And it totally just knocked the socks off me, because I did it without any intention. I did it without any thinking. I just knocked back this lovely cacao that I'd made, and I was tidying up, and I just felt like all of my body was just like, uh-oh, like not completely psychedelic, but it had this kind of like definitely altering kind of thing that I wasn't ready for, even though I knew what I was drinking. I just didn't do it with any intention. And I think it was actually a lesson for me. Like, it happened on purpose, because I was like, I couldn't open this all day. And then when I finally did, I was nearly greedy. I was like, give me this cacao. I couldn't wait to have it. And yeah, I totally got I was like complete space cadet.
Wow.
So it's really important to just drink it slowly, sit with it, you know, nearly communicate with it in a way, And I did quite we got a lot of homework and stuff for the training, obviously, to kind of integrate the cacao into our own life in our own special way. And it was a very strong message for me to offer the medicine to people with integrity, and remembering the culture that it comes from. Like, I'm an Irish person, culturally, this is not a medicine of ours. So it's really important that when you're preparing the cacao and you're offering the cacao, to do it with respect to the culture and to the people that it's come from, and that's where the offering it with integrity will come in. And I know you're very aware of that yourself, because you've spent time with lots of other cultures and their medicines and different things. So
Yeah.
it's
Thank you
good to
for
hear
sharing
that.
the story. Um,
Yeah.
just to let listeners know that it's not a psychedelic, but it is
No.
psychoactive. It does change and alter your state of
Yeah.
consciousness. And that's why the beautiful Kiara is going to be offering us ceremonies
Yeah.
to
Yes. Yeah.
facilitate us so we don't drink it and go haywire.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And look, I'm always there for a message if anyone wants to know anything. And if I have the information, I'm happy to share it. And it's just, and I mentioned there of like psychedelics and things. And then obviously with the cacao, it's safe with a lot of other plant medicines. It's safe to take with mushrooms. Cambo, I think it's not, it wouldn't be, their energies are very different and they don't kind of go well together. But no, it's not a psychedelic. Um, but it definitely is a little bit altering for sure. Yeah, and that comes with I mean, coffee is altering.
Yeah.
Coffee is a psychoactive substance, so it's not psychedelic, that's for sure, but it definitely, when you've drank it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
coffee acts on the nervous system and
yeah,
cacao works on the cardiovascular system. So
exactly. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is completely different. Amazing. So Kiara, someone is asking, do you host online ceremonies?
I plan on doing that, yes. I've only held one, and that was for my training, so it was part of our training, like homework. We had to pass the course, to get through the course, we had to hold an online ceremony. So basically I just had people I'm on my other course with on it, and I did that, and it was beautiful. So I'm definitely planning on doing a few more online, and I'm really looking forward to holding space, physical space for sure. So yes, to answer your question, I am organising an online ceremony. So yes.
Brilliant. Well, I think this
Yeah,
is another little nudge from the universe to get
yeah,
that rolling. A lot of people are asking.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
my beautiful friend Gabby is asking, what brand do you recommend? So Gabby, we just had a little chat about that. Kiara
Oh
will
yeah.
send you a message, perhaps if you would like to purchase it from her.
Yeah, I'll show you again anyway. This is the
Yeah,
one I have from Cacao Source from Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. And it's the Mama Amor um brand that I sell. But any cacao really that you can get from Guatemala is going to be very potent anyway. And lots of different cacao comes from there. But that's the one I have at the moment anyway. And it's really nice and creamy. And yes, it's really beautiful. So yeah, the online ceremonies will be happening, and then the physical ceremonies will be happening, and hopefully me and Neve can host something together, a retreat day or something for people to come, and we can do some lovely integrating with the cacao and some biofuel tuning. And I will be offering one-on-one ceremonies as well, guys. So Reiki slash cacao healing, one-on-one as well. So
brilliant. Yeah, I can't wait for our little day retreat. So everyone
yeah,
keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming up in the next couple of months.
yes.
I just wanted to make people aware that this is a very bitter drink. It is not like your Cadbury's hot chocolate. It's very bitter. However, the
Mm-hmm.
mild bitterness serves to cleanse the liver. So getting rid of all those toxins out of the liver, any sort of like chemicals, anything, that's entering the body that's, not for the optimum health. It will help to,
Heavy metals.
yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any more questions? Um,
Yeah, Neve, on that note, actually, you were saying, the cleansing part of it. That's why, if you're the type of person who is kind of always going to the toilet or anything like that, it is a diuretic. So drinking it in the nighttime mightn't suit everybody. And because obviously of its oxygenating the blood, the way that works, a lot of people find drinking it in the nighttime doesn't suit them. But I think it's very personal. Like I always drink it in the nighttime, and I find I sleep really well. I always have very kind of potent dreams with it as well. But I spend so much time, like I keep a block of cacao on my altar, and I'm like always with the grandmother. So it could be just different. But for me, I just personally, I love to drink it in the nighttime. But if you're the type of person who can't drink a cup of tea or anything before bed, definitely, yeah, drink it maybe in the afternoon or in the morning, instead of your coffee or your tea or whatever.
yeah. If I drink it at night, I'll be lying in bed like a zombie, wired
Yeah,
to the moon.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's why it's really important, guys, just to reach out to somebody who's actually trained
Mm,
to start using this medicine. So
yeah.
brilliant. Kiara, we really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing all of this beautiful wisdom and knowledge, for taking the time and doing your training so then, you can assist us. Is there anything else you'd like to add, chat about?
And thank you. Yeah, I'm really grateful that I could come on and have a chat with Genevieve and meet like-minded people. I suppose, no, I don't really have anything to add. Just thanks so much to everybody for coming on. Please drop me a message if you want to know any more, or if you want to buy some cacao. I have loads. And I'll keep everybody updated with ceremonies. And me and Neve will be, we and Neve will be chatting regularly, I reckon. So yeah, no, thank you so much for everyone coming on. I'm really grateful, and of course my heart is open. And yeah, that's everything. Thanks so much, Neve.
Brilliant, Kiara. Thank you so much. Really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to everything that we'll co-create in the very near future.
Yes,
Thanks
yeah,
everyone
thank
for
you.
joining. Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.